guys, Rachel here from Confused Millennial. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing my pregnancy skincare and supplement routine. All the different prenatals, probiotics, supplements I've taken to help with constipation, itchy skin, sharing out my midwife's GPS protocol with you guys in this video, plus exactly what I do for skincare. It's super simple. I did it my first pregnancy, I did it this pregnancy too, always get asked about it. And I will leave links to all of these products in the description box below too. So just a disclaimer, definitely talk with your care provider before starting any sort of supplement or skincare routine. This is just what I personally do. So let's jump into it. As far as supplements I take during pregnancy, I actually take a lot. So obviously I'll start with prenatals first because that's what everyone wants to know about. I don't have like, this is my #1 favorite prenatal. I tend to switch prenatals throughout both my pregnancies. I've taken that Garden of Eden one, this one. Also started off on, I can't remember the name of it, but this is a picture of it. That was my first trimester one because of the high levels of choline. So definitely throughout your whole pregnancy, you want a prenatal that has choline, but especially during that first trimester, you want to make sure you're getting a good amount of it. That one kind of made me sick though, so I had to take it at night because if I took it during the day, it was what was causing my morning sickness or my nausea that I was having my first trimester. Once I ran out of that, I decided not to get it again. I switched to this for a little while, but this one did not have choline in it. It did have choline in it. It was just a really low amount. I stopped taking this and I switched to this one, which has a choline. It's pretty complete. I like this one. The taste is awful, and I also have to take this one at night. It doesn't get me nauseous like the first one did. It's more of I just burp up the gross taste throughout the day. This one definitely tasted the best of all of them. It did turn my pee like highlighter yellow because it is whole food based. Those are all of my prenatals. So definitely for the biggest bang for your buck, either that one or this one from Claire Labs are definitely going to be your most complete. You have a hard time keeping stuff down. This one also has a probiotic in it. It's got all sorts of good stuff in it. This is more of just like an everyday vitamin though, not for prenatal necessarily. Speaking of probiotics, the other thing I did differently this pregnancy than last one. The last one I had read a lot of mixed research on whether or not probiotics work to prevent having a GBS positive status. Long story short, I ended up being positive. I was not thrilled about getting antibiotics in the hospital, and my daughter I don't think was thrilled about it either because my water broke and she came so quickly that they never got through the full round of antibiotics, meaning they wouldn't let us leave the hospital until a full 48 hours had passed because of liability and needing to observe her. So this time I was like, I am not dealing with any of that. So I was on this probiotic before I found out I was pregnant, right around the time I was pregnant, and I liked it. It does have a couple of the strains that have been studied for pregnant women, which is Lactobacillus reuteri and Rhamnosus. I'll leave their names here. So it has both of those in it, which I liked. Then my midwife suggested I switch to a spore-based probiotic, and this is the one that they had recommended. It pulls out the bad bacteria. So this was a prebiotic and probiotic, so feeding the good bacteria and helping the good bacteria grow, but this one pulled out the bad bacteria. And so for a while I was kind of jumping back and forth between the two, and then I found the best prenatal probiotic needed, and it has the lactose reuteri and rhamnose, but it also has the spore-based good stuff to pull out the bad. So this is the one I'd recommend, and this is the one I took towards the end as well. Part of my midwife's GBS protocol was to not only take these, but also do, for the 2 weeks leading up to your GBS test, every other day do a vaginal suppository. So literally breaking one of the pills in half, dividing it into 4 parts, dipping your finger into one part, putting it in your vagina, and doing that every other day for 2 weeks leading up to your GBS test, as well as taking echinacea. We love Pure Synergy brand. They also have you high dose on vitamin C, but I was already doing that. You can look up vitamin C protocol for pregnancy. I did not follow it perfectly to a T by any means. Instead, I followed it very intuitively, but high dosing vitamin C is definitely something to consider too. My first blood work in my pregnancy, shockingly my vitamin D levels were low. So I took this vitamin D, and then this is the vitamin D supplement both myself and my daughter take. It's a liquid D3K2. The D3K2 works really importantly together for teeth health. This is what I would recommend for daily use non-pregnancy, but I needed to be taking like almost 10,000 vitamin D a day, so I was taking a combo of both of these throughout my pregnancy. The other stuff I took throughout my pregnancy is I started to get really itchy skin at one point. I started taking dandelion root. Itchy skin can sometimes mean that the liver is working on overdrive. So I took dandelion root throughout my pregnancy. You could drink dandelion tea too. And I've got my first pregnancy vlog at 6 weeks. You saw I passed a ton of parasites. This is what I was taking. Still take it throughout my pregnancy. My daughter and husband take it too. I also took Natal Nourish. So you can take this pre-pregnancy or through pregnancy, and it just helps strengthen the uterine wall, making contractions a little bit more effective. So I've been taking this throughout. Because I'm having a home birth, not going to the hospital, I'm not going to have the same, like those mega doses of ibuprofen or whatever they give you postpartum in the hospital. My midwife recommended After Ease. I also went through a brief period, I think I talked about, where I was constipated during my first trimester or so. Calm, it's been my go-to for years, helps relax the muscles, helps get a bowel movement going. Highly recommend this before bed if you are struggling with being backed up or just tight muscles in general. And then as far as skincare goes, very simple. I first started using Ayura's Kasarati oil. When I was postpartum, I was struggling with like a little bit of just dry skin, also not acne, but just some pimples and stuff. So at that time, my postpartum after my first was rub an ice cube on my face in the morning, put this facial oil on afterwards. And this has been one of the few facial oils that's really worked for me. It's Ayurvedic, fantastic. It also makes you look naturally a little bit tanner when you put it on. So I highly, highly recommend this. Big fan. I've been using it for 2 years now. For my itchy skin, Tubby Todd's all over ointment was the only thing that worked for me. I also use this on my daughter's eczema. I actually just got some more of their body wash, the lavender and rosemary. This is what I use as my body wash too. Huge fans of Tubby Todd. The other thing I do, which I did with my first pregnancy too, is I dry brush, and then I put on Earth Mama's belly oil. This has been my go-to. This has actually lasted me from my previous pregnancy and through this one. I also used to have the Earth Mama belly butter, but I just ran out of it. I'm 39 weeks now. So normally I use that belly butter on top of this, but instead right now my friend had given me this little Rebecca's Apothecary belly butter, which is really, really nice. One of the things I will say is make sure you know what your skin responds to best. I do really well with extra virgin olive oil based lotions or shea butter. My skin tends to get dried out if I use coconut oil on certain parts. So on my belly, on my back, if I use coconut oil, it gets dried out. I do have this coconut oil from Anne Marie. It's a body oil and it's herb infused and it smells amazing. I use this on my arms. For some reason, coconut oil on my arms doesn't bother me. And this will truly, after the shower, make you feel like you're in a spa. It's amazing. And while we're in my bathroom, the other two things I do really like is Walita's lip butter. I have struggled with chapped lips my entire life. This has been the only thing. Putting this on before bed each night, that has truly, truly helped heal that. And then as far as our toothpaste goes, we use non-nano hydroxyapatite toothpaste. So we use the brand Boca. Especially if you're looking for a toothpaste safe for kids, highly recommend it. There's no fluoride. You don't have to worry the same way if your kid swallowed some of this versus a fluoride-based toothpaste. Super clean ingredients compared to what's mostly out there, and it tastes good. Big fans of Boca toothpaste. And that's it. Make sure to hit that notification and subscribe button so you don't miss baby's name reveal. All sorts of good stuff coming your way. In the meantime, my name is Rachel. Feel free to hit me up on Instagram at The Confused Millennial with any questions at all. Have a good one.